Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I want to talk about clowns. Not funny clowns, not sad clowns, but killer clowns from outer space. And not the old movie, but instead the 2023 Killer Clowns from Outer Space video game, which, yes, is a real thing, and it's really on Steam, and it's really going to be coming out in a few months, and I personally can't wait, because I was a fan of the old 1988 movie. I actually recommended it in my very first Halloween horror video guide. In case you're unfamiliar, it's this absolutely wacky horror comedy about evil alien clowns that come down and abduct people and wrap them up in cotton candy and drink their blood and have evil shadow puppets and popcorn guns and silly stuff like that. And it's a movie that's objectively quite bad, but still very entertaining to watch in the so bad it's good kind of way. I'd highly recommend it for anybody that wanted to check out a bad, fun movie. So I thought this was a relatively obscure thing. I didn't think anybody knew or cared about this, even though I've been collecting little bits of merchandise. I even have the Killer Clowns holographic DVD cover. They released a collector's edition of the DVD like a decade ago that had this holographic cover, and I couldn't help but to buy it, even though I didn't even have a DVD player. But apparently it has a big cult following, and because of that, it's going to be an asymmetrical multiplayer horror game, kind of like Dead by Daylight, coming out later this year. It's being created by the executive producer of the Friday the 13th video game, so it has a very similar look and vibe to that, 80s themed, you know? And honestly, it looks very similar to the Evil Dead game as well, where you can either play as the Evil Dead or Ash and the other survivors. So you can play the monsters or the humans, and a lot of this really just copies and builds on the Dead by Daylight formula, but that game's still going, it's still popular, it's still fun to play. Kind of reminds me of Evolve. That was one of the first games to do that. And it's, I don't think, going to be a radical departure in gameplay. We'll talk about the gameplay in a little bit, but it looks like a great skin, a great theme, something that's going to be a little bit more fun than Jason Voorhees or Ash Williams. It's just going to be wacky clown on human action, and weirdly, it looks nearly identical to the original film, perhaps uncomfortably identical, especially with the detail on the rendering, on the clown clothing, and the face looks like the old mask. It's very grotesque in a certain way if you hate clowns like I do, and they went through an astonishing amount of work to replicate environments one-to-one, so I'm very impressed by that. It does have the 80s VHS retro wave filter on top, which I enjoy in certain media and not in others. I hope that there's a sliding scale in the options to adjust the intensity of the tracking on my VHS tape that I'm playing. Okay, sorry about the evil clown laugh. I just couldn't help but to slip that in here in a video like this. I did all those clown clips for Twitter forever ago, and when this game comes out and I do my playthrough, I will of course have the clown makeup back on. So the gameplay looks a lot like asymmetrical horror. You have clowns versus humans. It's 3 clowns versus 4 humans. The clowns hunt them down and have various skills like Trapper, Tracker, Tank, Fighter, and they tend to use weapons like cotton candy guns, popcorn guns. They have the little balloon animal dog that can track people down, and they're very close, near one-to-one recreations of the wacky guns that you saw in the original film. And you also can play as humans. Humans are able to evade and survive the clowns. They can scavenge enough parts and stuff to build weapons to kill the clowns. You kill them by bonking the nose, or destroying it in this case. Or you can actually sabotage their entire invasion plan by destroying the spaceship or something like that that's not revealed yet if you're a very successful group of humans. Humans come in male and female flavors of biker, cop, punk, and redneck and teen, each of which have different weapons and abilities. For example, the bikers run fast, the rednecks have the bigger weapons. I think the punks scavenge the best or something like that. So again, a lot like the Friday the 13th game, which was still pretty fun to play. And I think it's ultimately going to have more legs and be more fun than those other asymmetrical horror games, just because the theme here is absolutely hilarious. And when I'm done playing it, I'm going to have to definitely take a shower and wash all the clown makeup off.